My bad.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fight Podcast. I am your host, SERG VICENTE, and my bad, I'm just trying to get this all set up for you guys. All right, yeah, look, it don't even look like it's actually rocking, so I'm just gonna have to hold this here today. It's all good. So, what is going on, everybody? It's SERG VICENTE, the host of the Fight Podcast. We're gonna go ahead and knock this out today. Solid 20 minutes, man. Fight news, coffee and fight news in 10 minutes or less. We're going to go ahead and cover everything that happened over the fight weekend. And there was an incredible fight weekend in terms of, well, I'm not going to say incredible, but it was solid. We had some really great boxing this weekend and, headlined by Richardson. Hitchins defending his IBF 140-pound title. And then we also had UFC Atlanta headlined by KAMARU Usman and BUCKLEY. So there were some really, really fun fights this weekend. The card UFC-wise, I'll get into that in a minute, but what I want to start off with is this. In my opinion, the performance of the weekend was none other than Richardson Hitchins. This is a guy that a lot of individuals, when they actually looked at it and really thought about it, he was always the odd man out. We always talked about the four kings. We talked about Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Devin Haney. We'll throw Shakur Stevenson in there as well. A lot of us thought that was it. Richardson Hitchins is a guy who's in the same class and has always wanted his respect. Unfortunately for him, promotional-wise, he wasn't getting what he wanted. Not only was he not getting what he wanted in terms of promotionally, he was also a guy that, unfortunately, his performances weren't something that a lot of us really wanted to watch. I'm not going to say he was boring, but I mean, we're looking at a guy that he had 19 fights, and he only had 7 knockouts. So let's be honest. A lot of us want to see individuals that are actually thumping people and knocking people down, and so he had lots to prove. He was talking a lot of trash, and in this fight, he was going out there fighting against George Kambosos. George Kambosos is a guy that let's be honest. A lot of us have looked at. He is an overachiever. Really, really quality overachiever, but he's still an overachiever. And he goes out there and he was talking crazy. He was going out there and they had a fantastic war of words. And one thing I'll definitely say about George Kambosos is this. Even if he overachieved, he always came prepared and he always came to fight. And this fight was no different. But I have to say this. Let's talk about Richardson Hitchins. He stole the show. Oh my God. He goes out there and was more sharp than I've ever seen him. His jab, we recently talked about Jamal Charlo's jab, talking about as a Hall of Fame piston type jab. Yo, somebody at 140 doing something extremely similar has to be Richardson Hitchins. He went out there and was absolutely dominant with that jab, throwing it, pumping the jab, really landing hard jabs, and really controlled the pace of the fight with that jab. It was something beautiful to watch. I mean, after the first round, George Kambosos' face was just busted up. But after that, he wasn't missing with any of his headshots. But then all of a sudden, he goes out there and starts dominating to the body. 5th round, he hurts George Kambosos with a body shot, and he didn't stop after that. Took a couple good shots also, but I mean, was super dominant. Listen to these numbers. 205 out of 398 in total strikes for 52%. 118 for 223 and that's 51% in terms of jabs, and then 87 for 165 for power shots. This was an all-encompassing, just a beautiful, beautiful fight for Richardson Hitchins. And here's the thing, this is what it did. It goes out there and puts him at the top of the heap. It goes out there and he has a performance that makes us look at him like, damn, this is an A-level fighter. I'm not going to say A-plus fighter, but this is an A-level fighter that goes out here and dominated a really, really solid B-level fighter. And that's what George Kambosos is, right? He's a B-level guy, but damn, he went out there and just looked absolutely incredible in that matchup. I loved everything that I saw about that one. Salute to Richardson Hitchins, man. And after the fact, he goes out there and calls out the WBO 145 champion, which is Teofimo Lopez, which is, I'll be honest with you, with the beef that they have, I would love to see it. You know what I'm saying? That would be such an amazing match to watch. Stylistically, also, and especially if Richardson Hitchins, what we're noticing at 140 pounds as he's sitting down on his punches, he could fight outside, he could fight inside. A lot of times people looked at him in the past as a guy who's just going to fight on the outside. I'm just going to use my jab. I'm going to move around. And that wasn't leading a lot for people to want, right? It wasn't leaving a lot for the imagination. But now that he's going in there, he's actually working on his inside game, sitting down, landing some big shots. I would love to see the fight against Teofimo Lopez. But not only did he call out Teofimo Lopez, he called out Devin Haney. A colorful call out, as you can say, but he goes out there, calls out Devin Haney, and that was absolutely incredible. Either one of those fights, I would love to see to unify the titles. Salute again, Richards and Hitchins. If you guys did not see that matchup, you need to. What a great matchup. All right. Also, Andy Cruz, former gold medalist, guy who actually has defeated 4 times in the amateur ranks. Keyshawn Davis beat Keyshawn Davis for the gold medal in the last Olympics. And he goes out there and gets a really, really solid victory. Salute to the Cuban Andy Cruz. All right, let's talk about UFC Atlanta. UFC Fight Night Atlanta is a card that, look, they had the star power on the card. I know I complained about the star power in the UFC in the past, but these are the kind of old washed individuals. But one thing we're talking about washed, one thing you can tell your moms, look, man, I didn't wash the dishes. What you mean? They're not washed, right? KAMARU Usman wasn't washed. Goes out there, hasn't fought in 2 years. Not only hasn't fought in 2 years, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. Goes out there and fights against the surging Joaquin Buckley, and he stops. He didn't stop him. He gets a dominant victory, man. He ended up getting, let's say, 4 out of 13 takedowns. Go ahead, and the strikes. Check out the strikes. 137 strikes to 51. Joaquin Buckley goes out there, and I'll be honest with you, you kind of shit the bed. This is his opportunity to get a title shot, beat a former champion, and he essentially just acted. I mean, even the commentary team said it. I'm going to say it as well. It seemed like he didn't respect or even try in terms of the ground game. He didn't seem prepared, and I think he really missed a great opportunity in this one. But salute to KAMARU Usman. And KAMARU Usman, after this, absolutely he wants the winner of Islam Makhachev and JDM. But unfortunately for him, but fortunate for us, I believe he's probably going to end up getting the former champion Belal Muhammad. That would be an incredible fight, especially both former champions. And they had beef. From it sounds like on KAMARU Usman's podcast, there was a little ruckus. They ended up throwing down at one point in time. They are also represented by the same management team, so I'm curious to see how that would go, but I would love to see that matchup. Also on this card, Rose Namajunas goes out there and gets a victory against Miranda Maverick. She looked great. She had 1 knockdown in this fight. She was outstruck, but she also had 2 takedowns. 3-round fight, really solid. Salute to Rose Namajunas. Looks like she's back in the winning in her winning form. Does this mean she's all the way back? I don't know. I have to see more, but it was good to see her being the champion and the high-level athlete that we have come to know for Rose Namajunas. Also on this card, Cody Garbrandt loses to Ronnie Barcelos. I hate to say it, man. Cody's looking washed. He had a great first round. He looked a little softer on the midsection. It just seems like his time is come and gone, but salute to both of those guys. One thing I do want to give a shout out on this one, Malcolm Wellmaker. This dude goes out here and gets a knockout of the year candidate. Knocks out Montano. If you guys don't remember Montano, he's the dude who fought on short notice. Sean O'Malley took a bajillion shots and was still there. Ever since then, he has been getting knocked out. I'm actually worried for Buddy. I don't think the UFC's for him. The guys at that level are just too good. And then last but certainly not least, I want to highlight my boy Phil Rowe. He goes out there and gets an amazing comeback stoppage. If you guys haven't seen this one, 3rd round, goes out there and gets a great stoppage. Beautiful. All in all, man, it was a fun weekend of fights. It was the best. I'm not going to say that, but all in all, it was a really fun weekend of fights. And with that being said, look, man, this is what we got, man. A couple minutes for you guys, 10 minutes or less. We're going to give you the Fight News recap. So coffee and fight news. Love y'all. Do me a favor. Go ahead and follow the Fight Podcast everywhere podcasting is available. Make sure you subscribe to this page and everything else we have. We have interviews. We have so much more. Check out. I was actually at the Pacquiao Barrios Media Day. We have a lot of interviews that are on there on our YouTube page. So subscribe. Check those out. And we'll be back this week talking about pro wrestling as well. All right. With that being said, I'm Serg Vicente, the host of the Fight Podcast. Follow me at the Serg Vicente, at the Serg Vicente on Twitter, at Serg Vicente on IG, and everywhere else y'all can find me. Love y'all. I'll see you next time. Peace.